Erica, a thin and tired black girl no older than 12, wandered the busy streets of the city. The sun beat down on her and her stomach growled, but she had long gotten used to the gnawing hunger. With no home, no family, and no hope, Erica had learned to fend for herself, relying on the kindness of strangers and scraps from trash bins. Each day was the same, survival. On this particular afternoon, as Erica sat on a street corner, her eyes caught a glimpse of the shiny black shoes of a police officer. She shrank back, unsure if this was trouble. Over the years, Erica had developed a sense of wariness around adults, especially authority figures, knowing they often saw her as a problem to be fixed or worse, ignored. "Hey there," a gentle voice broke through her thoughts. Erica glanced up. The policewoman towering above her had kind eyes, a soft smile and a warm face, a stark contrast to the rough exterior Erica was used to. "You look hungry," the policewoman said. "Would you like something to eat?" Erica hesitated, unsure if she could trust the stranger. But her stomach made the decision for her. Nodding slightly, she followed the policewoman to a nearby diner. They sat at a booth and Erica nervously glanced around, still unsure of what to expect. "My name is Amanda, Mrs. Amanda." "What's your name, sweetheart?" the woman asked kindly as she handed the menu to Erica. "Erica," she muttered, barely loud enough to be heard. "Erica, it's nice to meet you. Order whatever you like," Mrs. Amanda encouraged with a smile. Erica's eyes widened. She hadn't had a proper meal in weeks, maybe months. She shyly ordered a sandwich and some fries, afraid to ask for more. When the food arrived, she ate slowly at first, still watching Mrs. Amanda with suspicion. But as the warmth of the meal filled her stomach, Erica began to relax. For a while they sat in silence, the clatter of the diner's other customers filling the air. Mrs. Amanda didn't push Erica to talk, allowing her to eat in peace. But she watched the girl carefully, her heart aching at the thought of someone so young being so alone. When Erica finally spoke, her words were soft and uncertain. "Why are you helping me?" Mrs. Amanda smiled gently. "Because you remind me of someone I knew a long time ago," she said, her voice full of compassion. "And because everyone deserves a little kindness." Erica didn't know how to respond to that. Kindness wasn't something she was used to, especially from strangers. She looked at Mrs. Amanda, trying to figure her out, but the woman's sincerity seemed genuine. "Do you have a place to stay, Erica?" Mrs. Amanda asked, breaking the silence once again. Erica shook her head slowly, her eyes downcast. "I sleep wherever I can," she admitted. Mrs. Amanda's heart clenched. She had seen too many kids like Erica, slipping through the cracks, lost in a world that didn't seem to care. But something about this girl made Mrs. Amanda want to do more. "Tell you what," Mrs. Amanda said after a moment, her voice thoughtful. "How about you come stay with me for a while? Just until you're back on your feet." Erica stared at her, wide-eyed and disbelieving. "You'd do that for me?" Mrs. Amanda smiled warmly. "Of course. Everyone needs a helping hand sometimes. I want to help you." And for the first time in a long time, Erica felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, her life was about to change. Erica couldn't believe what she had just heard. Stay with a stranger? A policewoman? Her instinct was to say no. After all, she'd learned long ago that nothing in life came without a cost. But as she looked into Mrs. Amanda's kind eyes, something inside her softened. Could she really trust this woman? "I don't know," Erica said slowly, her fingers tracing the edge of her plate. What if it doesn't work out?" Mrs. Amanda smiled, understanding the girl's hesitation. "That's okay, Erica. I won't force you to come with me. But I want you to know my door is open to you. For as long as you need." Erica was silent, torn between the fear of trusting and the desperate longing for a stable life. Mrs. Amanda seemed so genuine, but after years of fending for herself, Erica had built walls around her heart that were hard to tear down. "What if you don't like me?" Erica asked quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. Mrs. Amanda reached across the table and placed her hand gently over Erica's. "You're a bright, strong girl. I already like you. And I want to help you get back on your feet. No strings attached." Erica's mind raced. She had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. The streets were dangerous, especially at night, and she couldn't keep living like this forever. But trusting someone, that felt scarier than anything she'd ever faced. "Why me?" Erica asked suddenly, looking Mrs. Amanda in the eye. "Why do you care?" Mrs. Amanda took a deep breath, her expression softening. "Because you remind me of someone. When I was young, I had a friend who went through something similar. I always wished I could have helped her more. Now, I have the chance to help you." Erica chewed on her lip, the conflict visible on her face. It wasn't easy to trust. But maybe just this once it was worth a shot. Maybe Mrs. Amanda was different from the others who had promised to help and disappeared when things got tough. "Okay," Erica said finally, her voice barely audible. "I'll go with you." Mrs. Amanda's face lit up with a smile, one that made Erica's chest feel a little lighter. "You won't regret it, I promise," she said warmly. "We'll get you settled and you can take it one day at a time." The drive to Mrs. Amanda's home was quiet. Erica stared out the window watching the world pass by. The streets she'd grown so familiar with now felt distant, as though she were leaving behind a chapter of her life. When they pulled up to a modest but cozy-looking house, Erica felt her nerves return. "This is home," Mrs. Amanda said, unlocking the door and ushering Erica inside. The house was simple but inviting, with soft, warm colors and the faint scent of fresh bread. Erica stood awkwardly in the entryway, unsure of what to do next. "You don't have to be nervous," Mrs. Amanda said, noticing her hesitation. "This is your home now too. Let me show you your room." Erica followed Mrs. Amanda down the hallway, her heart pounding. The small room Mrs. Amanda opened the door to was simple. A bed, a dresser, and a small window overlooking the street. But to Erica, it was more than she had ever hoped for. "It's not much, but I hope you like it," Mrs. Amanda said, watching Erica's reaction closely. Erica walked in and sat on the bed, running her fingers over the soft blanket. She hadn't slept in a real bed for as long as she could remember. "I love it," Erica said quietly, her voice thick with emotion. And for the first time in a long time she felt safe. The first few days at Mrs. Amanda's house felt surreal for Erica. Each morning she awoke in her cozy room, the sunlight streaming through the window, and for the first time in a long while she felt something she hadn't in years: hope. Mrs. Amanda was patient, giving Erica space to adjust while gently encouraging her to open up about her dreams and aspirations. "Let's have breakfast together," Mrs. Amanda suggested one morning, setting 2 plates on the small kitchen table. Erica sat down hesitantly, eyeing the spread of fluffy pancakes and fresh fruit. It felt like a scene from a movie, something she'd only seen on television. As they ate, Mrs. Amanda encouraged Erica to share more about herself. "What do you want to do when you grow up?" she asked, her tone warm and inviting. Erica paused, surprised by the question. No one had asked her about her future in years. I want to be a pilot," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, as if saying it out loud would make it less real. Mrs. Amanda's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "A pilot? That's an incredible dream. Why do you want to fly?" Erica thought for a moment, her mind drifting to the times she'd watched planes soaring through the sky, wondering what it would be like to be up there among the clouds. "Because I want to see the world. I want to fly above the troubles of the earth. I want freedom." Mrs. Amanda smiled widely. "You know, I believe you can achieve that. But it's going to take hard work and dedication. Are you willing to try?" Erica nodded, her heart swelling with determination. "Yes, I am." As the days turned into weeks, Mrs. Amanda became not only a guardian but a mentor. She took Erica under her wing, enrolling her in school and helping her with her studies. At first, school was a struggle for Erica. She was far behind her peers, having missed so much education while living on the streets. But with Mrs. Amanda's support and encouragement, Erica began to catch up. "Just take it one step at a time," Mrs. Amanda would say whenever Erica felt overwhelmed. "You're doing great and I'm proud of you." Erica thrived in this new environment. With each passing day she learned more about math, science, and reading, subjects that she once thought were unattainable. The other kids at school were curious about her, some friendly, others wary, but Erica was determined to prove herself. One afternoon, as they worked on homework together, Mrs. Amanda noticed Erica's excitement as she talked about a project on aviation. "I can help you learn more about flying if you'd like," she offered, her tone serious but encouraging. "Really? You'd do that for me?" Erica asked, her eyes lighting up. "Absolutely. Let's start looking for some books on aviation and maybe some documentaries. There's so much to explore." With Mrs. Amanda's help, Erica discovered a whole new world of aviation that filled her with wonder. They spent hours discussing the mechanics of flight and the importance of determination in reaching goals. One day, Mrs. Amanda surprised Erica with a trip to a local airfield. "I know you've been wanting to see planes up close," she said as they arrived. Erica's heart raced with excitement. As they walked around the airfield, Erica marveled at the planes taking off and landing. The sound of engines roaring overhead filled her with exhilaration. "This is amazing," she exclaimed, her eyes wide with awe. Mrs. Amanda smiled, watching Erica's passion bloom. "Just remember, Erica, every pilot started with a dream just like yours." As they drove back home, Erica felt a spark of ambition ignite within her. She was determined to make her dream a reality. With Mrs. Amanda's unwavering support, she knew she could reach for the stars. As the months went by, Erica blossomed under Mrs. Amanda's guidance. She was excelling in school, but the journey wasn't without its challenges. One day, as Erica was walking to her classroom, she overheard some students whispering about her. "Did you hear she lives with a policewoman? She's just a charity case," one girl said, her voice dripping with disdain. Erica's heart sank. She quickened her pace, trying to ignore the hurtful words. Why did they have to judge her? She had worked hard to get to where she was, and yet all it took was a few careless comments to make her feel small. When she arrived in class, she couldn't focus on the lesson. The whispers echoed in her mind, and she found herself daydreaming about flying away, far from the hurtful words of her classmates. That afternoon, Erica returned home feeling defeated. Mrs. Amanda noticed her quiet demeanor as they sat down for dinner. "How was school today?" she asked, trying to engage Erica in conversation. "It was fine," Erica replied, pushing her food around her plate. Mrs. Amanda could sense something was off. "Erica, you know you can talk to me about anything, right?" After a moment of hesitation, Erica looked up, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Some kids at school were saying mean things about me today. They said I'm just a charity case." Mrs. Amanda's expression softened. "I'm sorry to hear that, sweetie. I know it's tough, but remember, what they say doesn't define who you are. You're so much more than that." Erica felt a wave of emotion wash over her. "But I can't help feeling that way sometimes," she admitted. "I just want to fit in and be accepted." Mrs. Amanda nodded in understanding. "It's natural to want to belong. But true acceptance comes from being proud of who you are and where you come from. Embrace your story, Erica. You're a fighter, and your journey is what makes you special." Taking a deep breath, Erica tried to absorb Mrs. Amanda's words. "I'll try," she said finally, her voice steadying. "But it's hard." "I know it is," Mrs. Amanda replied. "But I believe in you. You're strong and you have a bright future ahead of you. Use those mean comments as fuel to push yourself harder. Let them be a reminder of how far you've come." That night, as Erica lay in bed, she replayed the day's events in her mind. Mrs. Amanda's words echoed in her heart, slowly transforming her perspective. Maybe she could turn the negativity into motivation. She thought of her dream to become a pilot and how much she wanted to make it a reality. The next day at school, Erica walked through the hall with renewed determination. She held her head high, ignoring the whispers that followed her. She focused on her studies and made a conscious effort to reach out to her classmates. Slowly but surely, some of the students began to warm up to her. One girl, named Mia, approached Erica during lunch. "I heard what they said about you and I think it's unfair," she said. "Do you want to sit with us?" Erica was taken aback but felt a warmth spread in her chest. "Really? I'd like that," she replied, smiling for the first time that day. As the weeks passed, Erica formed new friendships and discovered that there were others at school who had faced their own struggles. Together, they bonded over their challenges, and Erica realized she wasn't alone in her journey. With Mrs. Amanda's encouragement and the support of her new friends, Erica began to embrace her past and see it as a source of strength. Each day brought her closer to her dream, and with every small victory her confidence grew. One afternoon, while studying with Mia and another friend, Erica came up with an idea. "What if we start an after-school club for kids who want to learn about aviation? We could invite a local pilot to speak." Mia's eyes lit up. "That's a great idea. I'd love to help organize it." With a new sense of purpose, Erica began to plan the club, excited about the possibilities that lay ahead. "Who knows," she thought. "Maybe I can inspire others just like Mrs. Amanda inspired me." The after-school club that Erica envisioned quickly gained traction. With the help of her friends, they organized their first meeting in the school library. The excitement bubbled over as they set up flyers around the school, inviting anyone interested in aviation to join them. On the day of the first meeting, Erica felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. She arrived early, setting up the chairs in a circle and laying out some snacks. As the clock ticked closer to the start time, she paced back and forth, checking the door every few seconds. Finally, students began to trickle in, curious about the club. Mia was the first to arrive, beaming with enthusiasm. "I can't wait to hear about flying," she exclaimed. As more students gathered, Erica introduced herself. "Welcome everyone. I'm so glad you could make it. This club is for anyone interested in learning about aviation, and we hope to inspire each other along the way." After the introductions, they dove into discussions about different types of aircraft, the science of flight, and what it takes to become a pilot. Erica felt a surge of confidence as she spoke passionately about her dream, and her enthusiasm was contagious. "Did you know that the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean was Amelia Earhart?" Mia shared, her eyes wide with excitement. "She was so brave." "That's amazing," Erica replied, her heart swelling with inspiration. "I want to be just like her." As the weeks turned into months, the club flourished. They invited guest speakers, including local pilots who shared their experiences and offered advice. Each session filled Erica with more knowledge and enthusiasm, pushing her closer to her dream. One evening, as they were wrapping up a meeting, Mrs. Amanda stopped by to check on them. She walked into the room, her face lighting up with pride. "Wow, I'm impressed. You all are doing such a fantastic job." "Thanks, Mrs. Amanda," Erica said, her heart swelling with gratitude. "We're learning so much about flying." Mrs. Amanda pulled Erica aside. "I'm so proud of you, Erica. You've turned your dream into something real, not just for yourself but for others too. This is what leadership looks like." Erica beamed at the compliment. "I just want to inspire other kids like you inspired me." As the club continued to grow, Erica felt a deep sense of purpose. They even organized a trip to a local airport, where the students could see planes up close and speak with pilots. The excitement was palpable as they stepped onto the tarmac, gazing up at the massive machines that symbolized freedom. "Can you believe we're actually here?" Mia exclaimed, her voice filled with wonder. Erica nodded, feeling the thrill of possibility. "One day I'll be up there flying," she said, pointing to a small plane that was preparing for takeoff. During the airport visit, one of the pilots, Captain Jason, noticed Erica's enthusiasm. "You've got a spark, young lady," he said with a smile. "If you're serious about flying, don't let anything hold you back. Pursue it with all your heart." His words resonated deeply within Erica. She took that advice to heart, realizing that she needed to take concrete steps toward her dream. With Mrs. Amanda's encouragement, she began researching flight schools and scholarships. Her determination ignited like never before. Back at home, Erica excitedly shared her plans with Mrs. Amanda. "I want to apply to a flight school for summer camp," she declared, her eyes shining with hope. "They have scholarships for students from low-income families." Mrs. Amanda's eyes twinkled with pride. "That sounds like an incredible opportunity. I believe in you, Erica. You can do this." With Mrs. Amanda's support, Erica poured herself into preparing her application. She wrote about her journey, the challenges she faced, and her dreams of flying high above the clouds. As she submitted her application, she felt a mixture of hope and nervous anticipation. "Whatever happens, I know I've come a long way," Erica whispered to herself, feeling proud of her progress. As the days turned into weeks, Erica continued to work hard in school and lead the aviation club. She was committed to not only achieving her dream but also inspiring others along the way. With every passing day, Erica was one step closer to taking flight, both literally and metaphorically. The anticipation in Erica's heart grew as she waited for news about her flight school application. Every day felt like an eternity, and she found herself checking her email multiple times, hoping for a response. The support from her friends in the aviation club kept her motivated, but the uncertainty gnawed at her. One sunny afternoon, as Erica sat at the kitchen table doing her homework, her phone buzzed. Her heart raced as she grabbed it, expecting another update from a friend. Instead, the screen lit up with an email notification from the flight school. Could this be it? She thought, her fingers trembling as she opened the email. As she read through the message, a wave of emotions washed over her. "Dear Erica," it began, "we are pleased to inform you that you have been awarded a scholarship to attend our summer flight camp." Erica could hardly contain her excitement. She jumped from her chair, her heart pounding with joy. "Mrs. Amanda, I got in. I got the scholarship," she shouted, racing into the living room. Mrs. Amanda looked up from her book, her eyes widening with disbelief. What? Are you serious? Yes. I'm going to the flight camp, Erica exclaimed, practically dancing with glee. Mrs. Amanda enveloped Erica in a tight hug. I'm so proud of you. This is just the beginning, my dear. You worked so hard for this. Tears of happiness filled Erica's eyes as she pulled back to look at Mrs. Amanda. I couldn't have done it without your support. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. The two of them spent the evening celebrating. They ordered Erica's favorite pizza, and Mrs. Amanda even made a chocolate cake decorated with a small airplane on top. As they ate, Erica shared her excitement about what the camp would be like. I can't wait to learn how to fly. I'll get to meet real pilots and maybe even get a chance to fly a plane myself, she gushed, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. That sounds amazing, Erica. Remember, flying is not just about the mechanics. It's about the passion and the joy of the journey. You have both, Mrs. Amanda encouraged, her eyes sparkling with pride. After dinner, Erica couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, her mind racing with thoughts of flight school. It felt surreal, like a dream finally coming true. She imagined soaring high above the clouds, feeling the wind against her face, and the thrill of taking control of an aircraft. The next day, Erica attended school with a spring in her step. She couldn't wait to share her news with the aviation club. As she entered the classroom, her friends were already buzzing with excitement, eager to hear about her application. I got the scholarship, Erica announced, her voice ringing with joy. The room erupted in cheers. Mia jumped up and hugged her. I knew you could do it. You're going to be an incredible pilot. As they celebrated, Erica felt a surge of gratitude for her friends and the support they had all given each other. She knew she wasn't just pursuing her own dream but inspiring those around her to chase theirs. Let's make a plan for the summer camp, Erica suggested. We can gather supplies and brainstorm everything we want to learn. The club meeting turned into an enthusiastic brainstorming session, with everyone contributing ideas for what they hoped to gain from the experience. The energy in the room was electric, and Erica felt her heart swell with happiness. As summer approached, Erica immersed herself in preparations for the flight camp. She spent hours researching everything she could about aviation, from navigation to weather patterns, ensuring she would be ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Meanwhile, Mrs. Amanda remained her biggest supporter. She attended every meeting, helping Erica gather supplies and offering advice. The bond between them grew stronger, a beautiful testament to the power of love and mentorship. Finally, the day of the flight camp arrived. Erica packed her bags with a mix of excitement and nervousness, double-checking everything she would need. As she stood at the door ready to leave, Mrs. Amanda placed a hand on her shoulder. You're going to do great things, Erica. Remember, you're never alone. I'm always with you in spirit, she said, her voice steady and reassuring. With a beaming smile, Erica hugged Mrs. Amanda tightly. Thank you for everything. I promise to make you proud. As she stepped out the door and into a bright new future, Erica felt a rush of determination. She was ready to take flight, not just as a pilot but as the person she was meant to be. Erica's heart raced with excitement as she arrived at the flight camp. The sun shone brightly and the scent of freshly cut grass filled the air. She could see airplanes parked on the tarmac, their shiny wings glinting in the sunlight. It was a scene she had only dreamed of, and now it was her reality. As she stepped off the bus with her duffel bag in hand, Erica was greeted by the sight of other campers milling about, some chatting excitedly, while others were busy setting up their sleeping arrangements in the nearby cabins. The atmosphere was buzzing with energy, and Erica felt a surge of belonging. Welcome to Camp Sky High, a cheerful voice announced from the front of the crowd. A tall woman with short hair and a warm smile introduced herself as Captain Lisa, the camp director. We're thrilled to have all of you here. This summer will be filled with fun, learning, and of course flying. Erica felt a thrill run through her. This was exactly where she wanted to be. After settling into her cabin and meeting her roommates, she joined the other campers for orientation. They gathered in a large meeting room where Captain Lisa laid out the schedule for the camp. Each day would feature lessons on aviation theory, flight simulators, and actual flying lessons. Don't worry if you're new to flying, Captain Lisa reassured them. We'll start with the basics and work our way up. The only requirement is a passion for aviation. Erica could hardly wait for the lessons to begin. As the orientation ended, she struck up conversations with her fellow campers, sharing her excitement about flying. She met Chloe, a girl from another state who dreamed of becoming a commercial pilot, and Ben, a boy who loved planes ever since he was little. They quickly bonded over their shared aspirations. Later that afternoon, Erica and her new friends gathered for their first lesson, which focused on the principles of flight. Captain Lisa explained concepts like lift, thrust, drag and weight, using simple diagrams and examples. Erica soaked in the information, her mind racing with possibilities. Flying is all about understanding how forces work together, Captain Lisa said, gesturing animatedly. Once you grasp these concepts, you'll be ready to take control of an aircraft. After the theory session, it was finally time for the real fun to begin. The flight simulator. The campers excitedly made their way to the simulator room, where rows of high-tech flight simulators awaited them. Erica's heart raced with anticipation. As she sat down in front of the controls, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The simulator booted up and she found herself in the cockpit of a virtual airplane. Captain Lisa's voice came through the headset, guiding her through the pre-flight checklist. "Okay, Erica, let's start with taxiing," she instructed. "Use the throttle to move forward and steer with the yoke." Erica concentrated, her hands gripping the controls tightly. She pushed the throttle gently and the virtual plane began to move. A grin spread across her face as she realized how real it felt. "I'm actually flying," she thought. With Captain Lisa's guidance, Erica maneuvered the plane through the virtual runway, practicing takeoffs and landings. The sense of accomplishment she felt was overwhelming. Her confidence grew with each successful attempt, and she couldn't help but share her excitement with her friends. After a few hours in the simulator, the campers regrouped to share their experiences. "That was amazing," Chloe exclaimed. "I can't believe how real it felt. It's like we were actually flying," Erica added, her eyes shining with enthusiasm. The camaraderie among the campers grew stronger as they shared their dreams and experiences, supporting each other every step of the way. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the camp, Erica sat with Chloe and Ben around a campfire. They roasted marshmallows and shared stories about their hopes for the future. Erica spoke about her desire to fly around the world, visiting new places and experiencing different cultures. "I want to make a difference just like Mrs. Amanda did for me," Erica shared, her voice filled with determination. "I believe you will," Ben replied, his eyes shining with admiration. "You have the passion and the drive to make it happen." As laughter and warmth filled the air, Erica felt a sense of belonging like never before. She knew this camp was not just about learning to fly. It was about finding a community that shared her dreams and aspirations. That night, as Erica lay in her bunk, staring up at the stars shining through the cabin window, she felt a deep sense of gratitude. This was just the beginning of her journey, and she was ready to embrace every moment. With Mrs. Amanda's support and the encouragement of her new friends, Erica knew she was on the path to achieving her dreams. The next morning, excitement buzzed through the camp like a gentle electric current. Erica woke up early, her heart racing as she recalled the day ahead, her very first real flight lesson. After a quick breakfast with her fellow campers, she rushed to the hangar, where several small training planes sat gleaming under the bright morning sun. Captain Lisa gathered everyone around and shared the plan for the day. "Today you'll each get the chance to take to the skies. We'll start with some ground instruction before you meet your instructors for the day." Erica listened intently as Captain Lisa explained the flight maneuvers they would practice during their first lesson. They would learn how to control the plane, understand basic navigation, and perform takeoffs and landings. Each new piece of information fueled her excitement and nervousness in equal measure. "Remember, communication is key when you're flying," Captain Lisa emphasized. "Always stay focused and be aware of your surroundings. Your instructor will guide you every step of the way." As the campers paired up with their instructors, Erica felt a flutter of anxiety. She had dreamed of this moment for so long, but now that it was here, she couldn't help but feel a bit overwhelmed. Just then she spotted Captain Lisa walking toward her. "Erica, you'll be flying with me today," she said with a reassuring smile. "Let's go have some fun." Relief washed over Erica as they approached the plane. "Really? With you?" she asked, her voice filled with excitement. "Absolutely. We're going to make this a great experience for you," Captain Lisa replied, her enthusiasm contagious. After a thorough pre-flight check, Captain Lisa explained each step as they climbed into the cockpit of the small plane. Erica's heart raced as she settled into the pilot's seat, her hands trembling slightly as she adjusted the controls. "Okay, Erica, let's start with the pre-flight checklist," Captain Lisa said, guiding her through the process. "We need to check the fuel, the instruments, and ensure everything is in working order before we take off." Erica followed Captain Lisa's instructions closely, feeling a mix of determination and nervousness. Once they completed the checklist, Captain Lisa walked her through the takeoff procedure. "I'll handle the radio communications, but you'll control the aircraft," she explained. "Just remember what we practiced in the simulator." With everything in place, Erica took a deep breath and nodded. "I'm ready." As they taxied to the runway, the thrill of anticipation bubbled inside her. Captain Lisa called out their intentions to the control tower and soon they were cleared for takeoff. Erica's heart raced as she pushed the throttle forward, feeling the plane begin to roll down the runway. "Now gently pull back on the yoke," Captain Lisa instructed, her voice calm and encouraging. Erica followed her guidance and to her astonishment, the plane began to lift off the ground. As they soared into the sky, a rush of exhilaration washed over her. The ground fell away and they were surrounded by a vast expanse of blue. "Look at that view," Erica exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. The world below seemed so small and for the first time she truly felt the freedom of flight. "You're doing great, Erica. Now let's practice some basic maneuvers," Captain Lisa said, guiding her through turns and climbs. Each movement felt more natural as Erica grew more confident in her abilities. They flew over rolling hills and sparkling lakes, the sun illuminating the landscape in a breathtaking display. Erica couldn't help but smile as she took it all in. "This is incredible," she shouted over the sound of the engine. After a while, Captain Lisa instructed Erica to begin the descent back to the airfield. "Let's practice landing," she said. "Remember to keep your eyes on the runway." With her heart pounding, Erica focused intently on the task. She felt a mix of nerves and excitement as they approached the runway. "You got this, Erica. Just stay steady," Captain Lisa encouraged. As they touched down smoothly, a wave of triumph washed over Erica. "We did it," she cheered, her voice filled with joy. Once back on the ground, Captain Lisa beamed with pride. "You're a natural, Erica. I knew you had it in you. How did it feel?" "Unbelievable. I can't believe I actually flew a plane," Erica exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with exhilaration. After everyone had completed their flights, the campers gathered to share their experiences. Erica couldn't stop talking about her lesson, her enthusiasm contagious. Her friends were equally thrilled, each recounting their own first flights and the joy it brought them. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the camp, Erica felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. This was just the beginning of her journey, and she couldn't wait to see what lay ahead. With the support of Captain Lisa, her friends, and the dreams she held close to her heart, Erica knew she was on the right path. That night as she lay in bed, Erica reflected on her day. She had taken her first flight, and with each passing moment, she was one step closer to becoming the pilot she had always dreamed of being. With the encouragement of those around her, she felt empowered to chase her dreams, no matter where they might lead. The following days at Camp Sky High were a whirlwind of activity and excitement for Erica. Each morning began with a burst of energy, and the campers eagerly anticipated their flight lessons. With every session, Erica felt her confidence growing, but along with the thrill of flying came the reality of the challenges she would need to face. One sunny morning as Erica and her friends gathered for their daily briefing, Captain Lisa announced an upcoming competition, the Camp Sky High Air Race. "This is an opportunity for you to showcase your flying skills," she explained, her eyes shining with enthusiasm. "You'll have a chance to win a scholarship for advanced flight training." Erica's heart raced at the thought of competing. She felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. "This could be my chance to prove myself," she thought, but the pressure of performing well weighed heavily on her mind. She glanced at her friends who were equally intrigued by the competition. "Are you going to enter, Erica?" Chloe asked, her expression bright with enthusiasm. "I think you'd do amazing." "I don't know. It seems really intense," Erica admitted, her confidence wavering. "What if I mess up?" "Everyone will be nervous," Ben chimed in encouragingly. "But think about how far you've come. You've already flown a plane." After some reflection, Erica decided to give it a shot. Okay, I'll enter, she declared, surprising even herself. Her friends cheered and a sense of determination filled her. If she wanted to honor Mrs. Amanda and prove her abilities, she would have to embrace the challenge. Over the next few days, the campers focused on their preparations for the race. They practiced flying skills, navigation, and teamwork. Erica spent extra time in the simulator, honing her techniques, while Captain Lisa provided valuable feedback. Focus on maintaining your altitude and speed, she advised during their training sessions. You've got the skills. Now it's about putting them into practice. As the race day approached, Erica noticed her anxiety creeping back in. What if she didn't perform well? What if she let down the people who believed in her? The night before the race, she found it hard to sleep, tossing and turning in her bunk. Just then she remembered Mrs. Amanda's words, "Believe in yourself, Erica. You are capable of achieving great things." Inspired by those memories, she took a deep breath and made a decision. "I won't let fear hold me back," she whispered to herself. "I'm going to give it my all no matter the outcome." Race day dawned bright and clear, the excitement palpable in the air. Campers gathered early, chatting animatedly about their strategies and dreams of victory. Erica felt a surge of determination as she stepped out onto the tarmac, ready to face the challenge head-on. Captain Lisa briefed everyone on the race rules and safety protocols. "Remember, this is not just about speed. It's also about precision and control," she emphasized. "Stay focused and trust your training." As they prepared to take off, Erica could feel her heart pounding in her chest. She climbed into the cockpit, reminding herself to breathe deeply. With Captain Lisa's calming presence beside her, she ran through her mental checklist and prepared for the race. Once the starting horn blared, the planes took off in a flurry of excitement. Erica felt the adrenaline rush through her as she guided her plane into the sky. The first leg of the race involved navigating through a series of checkpoints, and Erica focused intently, relying on the skills she had honed during her time at the camp. As they flew through the course, she encountered a few challenges. A sudden gust of wind here, a tight turn there. But each time she reminded herself to stay calm and composed. "I can do this," she thought, her determination fueling her focus. However, halfway through the race, disaster struck. One of the campers ahead of her miscalculated a turn and began to spiral toward the ground. Erica's heart dropped as she watched the chaos unfold. Without thinking, she switched her focus from the race to the safety of her fellow camper. "Captain Lisa, I have to help," Erica called over the radio. "Stay focused, Erica," Captain Lisa urged. "You can't compromise your safety." But Erica's instincts kicked in. She adjusted her course and quickly descended toward the struggling plane, keeping an eye on the descending aircraft. "I can't just leave them," she thought, her determination unwavering. As she approached, Erica saw the other camper struggling to regain control. "I'm here," she shouted over the radio, her voice steady. "Just follow my lead." Erica guided the other pilot through the maneuvers to stabilize the aircraft. Together they worked to bring the plane back under control. It was a tense moment, but with Erica's help the camper managed to right the plane and climb back up to safety. "Thank you, Erica. I thought I was done for," the pilot exclaimed, relief flooding her voice. Erica's heart swelled with pride. "No problem. Let's get back in the race," she replied, her adrenaline still pumping. But she realized that her decision to help had cost her precious time in the competition. As they soared back toward the finish line, Erica felt a sense of fulfillment that outweighed any desire for victory. She had made a choice to prioritize safety over competition, and it had paid off in more ways than one. Her actions had not only saved a fellow camper but also solidified her belief in her capabilities as a pilot. When the race concluded, Erica didn't place in the top spots, but her actions were recognized and celebrated by everyone at Camp Sky High. Captain Lisa beamed with pride, praising Erica's bravery and quick thinking. "You showed true leadership today, Erica. That's what flying is really about, looking out for each other." As the campers gathered around to celebrate, Erica felt a deep sense of belonging. She had faced challenges head-on and emerged stronger. She realized that flying was about more than just reaching a destination. It was about the journey and the bonds forged along the way. That night, as the campers gathered around the campfire, Erica shared her story of helping her fellow camper. The warmth of the fire and the laughter of her friends filled her heart with joy. She knew she was exactly where she was meant to be, and her dreams were just beginning to take flight. The excitement from the air race lingered in the air at Camp Sky High. Erica felt a newfound confidence blooming within her, fueled by the support of her friends and the admiration she had received after her heroic act. The campers often recounted the tale of her bravery, and it only made Erica's heart swell with pride. But as the days passed, Erica sensed that Camp Sky High had more in store for her. During breakfast one morning, Captain Lisa announced, "We have a special guest joining us today. Please welcome Captain James, a renowned pilot and mentor to many young aviators." The campers buzzed with anticipation as Captain James walked into the mess hall, his presence commanding and warm. His stories of flying across the globe captivated everyone, and as he spoke, Erica felt her dreams taking flight once again. After the presentation, Captain Lisa turned to the campers with an eager smile. "Captain James has agreed to mentor one of you for the remainder of the camp. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to learn from a true expert." Erica's heart raced with the possibility. Would she be chosen? She remembered her promise to herself, to embrace every challenge that came her way. But as the other campers eyed each other with excitement, a shadow of doubt crept in. "What if I'm not good enough?" she thought. As if sensing her unease, Captain Lisa approached her after the session. "Erica, you have shown incredible growth and bravery. I believe you would be an excellent candidate for Captain James's mentorship." The words filled Erica with hope, but a new wave of anxiety washed over her. "What if I disappoint him?" she asked quietly, her voice trembling. "Every pilot has doubts, but it's how we overcome them that defines us. Remember, you have the heart of a champion," Captain Lisa replied, placing a reassuring hand on Erica's shoulder. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, Erica agreed to participate in the selection process for mentorship. Captain James would observe all the campers' skills during their next flight session, evaluating who would be the best fit for his guidance. The next day, Erica took to the skies once again, determined to give her best performance. As she soared through the clouds, she felt the weight of her worries lift, replaced by a feeling of freedom. She executed maneuvers with precision, focusing on the skills she had honed over the past weeks. As she completed her flight, Captain James approached her with a thoughtful expression. "You've got great instincts, Erica. I can see you have a passion for flying," he said, his voice steady and encouraging. "Thank you, Captain," Erica replied, a mix of nerves and excitement coursing through her. "I really want to learn as much as I can." "Passion is essential, but so is the ability to learn from mistakes," he continued, a twinkle in his eye. "I'm excited to see where your journey takes you." After the flights concluded, Captain James gathered all the campers for the final decision. "It's not an easy choice as each of you has shown remarkable talent," he began, his tone serious yet kind. "But I have chosen Erica to be my mentee for the remainder of camp." The room erupted into cheers and applause, and Erica's heart soared with joy. She felt a wave of gratitude wash over her, knowing that this opportunity could change everything for her. As she celebrated with her friends, Erica couldn't help but feel the weight of her new responsibilities. She wanted to impress Captain James and prove that she deserved this chance. But she also realized that mentorship would not just be about skill. It would be about learning to trust herself and finding her own unique flying style. Over the next few days, Erica immersed herself in Captain James's lessons. He pushed her to go beyond her limits, challenging her to explore her boundaries. Flying is not just about following the rules. It's about understanding the craft and developing your own voice in the cockpit, he said during one of their training sessions. Erica embraced every challenge, even when it meant facing her fears. One day, Captain James took her on a flight to practice turbulence navigation. "We're going to face some bumpy skies today," he announced as they climbed higher. "But don't be afraid. Just trust your instincts." As the plane hit the turbulence, Erica felt her stomach drop. Panic threatened to take hold, but she recalled Captain Lisa's encouragement and Captain James's guidance. With a deep breath, she focused on her controls, steadying the plane with every ounce of her strength. "Good. Keep your focus," Captain James called out, his voice calm. "You're doing great." Erica's confidence grew as she navigated through the bumps and dips. She began to understand that challenges were a natural part of flying and life. As they landed safely back on the ground, Captain James turned to her, a proud smile on his face. "You handled that beautifully, Erica. You've got the spirit of a true pilot." Feeling exhilarated, Erica realized that her fears were slowly dissipating. With each lesson she was becoming not just a better pilot but a stronger person. But as the mentorship continued, Erica faced new challenges outside of her flying lessons. She learned that not all campers were supportive of her selection, and whispers of jealousy and doubt began to circulate. "I heard Captain James only picked her because of her bravery," one camper remarked dismissively while another scoffed, "She's not special. It's just luck." Erica tried to brush off their comments, but the whispers lingered in her mind, casting shadows on her achievements. She had worked hard to get where she was and it stung to feel undermined. Determined not to let negativity get the best of her, Erica resolved to focus on her training and continue proving herself. She knew that Mrs. Amanda had always encouraged her to rise above challenges, and that was exactly what she intended to do. In the evenings she found solace in her journal, where she penned her thoughts and aspirations. "I will not let others define my worth," she wrote one night. "I am a pilot and I will soar higher than ever before." As the days turned into weeks, Erica embraced her journey, cherishing every lesson learned and every challenge faced. With Captain James's mentorship guiding her, she felt more determined than ever to reach her dreams, ready to conquer whatever lay ahead. As summer camp progressed, Erica found herself in a whirlwind of excitement and challenges. With Captain James's mentorship, she was learning invaluable skills and gaining confidence in her abilities as a pilot. However, the jealousy from some of the other campers was becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. One afternoon, during a group exercise, Captain Lisa announced a friendly competition among the campers. "We'll have a navigation challenge tomorrow. Each team will need to use their skills to find a hidden landmark using maps and aerial views," she explained. "The winning team will earn a special prize." Erica's excitement was palpable. She couldn't wait to showcase what she had learned from Captain James. However, she soon overheard a conversation between two campers who had expressed their displeasure at her selection for mentorship. "Let's make sure she doesn't win," one of them whispered. "We'll sabotage her navigation." Erica felt a chill run down her spine. It was disheartening to know that some campers wanted to undermine her hard work. She wanted to confront them but remembered her promise to herself, to rise above negativity and focus on her goals. Instead, she approached Captain James, seeking guidance. "Captain, I've been feeling a lot of pressure from some of the campers. They seem to want to bring me down," Erica admitted, her voice filled with uncertainty. "Jealousy can be tough, Erica," Captain James replied, his expression serious but understanding. "But remember, it's not about them. It's about how you respond to their negativity. Focus on your own journey and let your skills speak for themselves." With newfound determination, Erica decided to focus solely on the competition. She teamed up with her friends from camp, and they spent the night preparing, studying maps and practicing navigation techniques. The camaraderie they shared helped bolster her confidence and fueled her determination to succeed. The following day the competition began. Excitement filled the air as campers gathered around Captain Lisa, who explained the rules. "You'll work in teams to find the hidden landmark and return to base. The first team to return with the correct coordinates wins." As Erica's team took to the skies, she felt a rush of adrenaline. "Okay team, let's stick to our plan," she said, glancing at her friends Sarah and Jamal. "We'll take this route and keep an eye out for any landmarks along the way." They flew confidently, navigating through the clouds and checking their maps. Erica's heart raced with exhilaration as they spotted the landmark on their map. "There it is. We're on the right track," she shouted, excitement bubbling over. However, just as they were about to make their final turn, they suddenly hit a patch of turbulence. The plane shook and Erica struggled to maintain control. "Stay calm. We've trained for this," she reminded herself. Her friends were worried, but Erica's training kicked in. With Captain James's voice echoing in her mind, she adjusted the controls and steadied the plane. After a few tense moments, they broke through the turbulence and the calm skies welcomed them again. As they approached the landmark, Erica felt an overwhelming sense of pride. She was doing it. They quickly landed and rushed to the designated point to confirm their coordinates. Just as they celebrated their successful find, the other team arrived, and Erica noticed the two campers who had plotted against her looking anxious. They had arrived late, missing the chance to claim victory. Erica felt a moment of satisfaction but quickly shifted her focus back to her friends, who were cheering and celebrating their achievement. "Great job, team. We did it," she exclaimed, pulling them into a tight hug. Later that day, Captain Lisa announced the winners and presented them with their prize. A special flying lesson with Captain James. Erica could hardly contain her excitement. But as they celebrated, she noticed the two campers sulking at the sidelines. In that moment, Erica made a decision. She approached the campers with a genuine smile. "Hey, I know the competition was tough, but we can all learn from this. Maybe next time we can work together," she offered, extending an olive branch. The campers looked surprised, and for a moment, Erica wasn't sure how they would respond. "We were just trying to make things more exciting," one of them admitted, embarrassment creeping into their voice. "It's all about growing together," Erica said, her tone kind. "We can push each other to be better rather than tearing each other down. We all share a love for flying, right?" Slowly, the campers began to nod, realizing the truth in her words. "We're sorry," one said. "We didn't mean to be mean. We just wanted to win." Erica smiled, feeling proud of her decision. "Next time, let's work together and learn from each other. There's enough room for all of us to succeed." As she walked away, she felt lighter. Erica had faced the negativity and turned it into an opportunity for understanding. She realized that being a pilot was not just about flying. It was about building connections, embracing challenges, and rising above adversity. The rest of the day passed in a flurry of excitement as Erica and her friends prepared for their special flying lesson with Captain James. She felt grateful for the opportunity, knowing that she had taken a significant step forward not only as a pilot but also as a person. As they boarded the plane for their lesson, Erica felt a surge of confidence. She was ready to face whatever came next, knowing that her journey was only just beginning. With Captain James by her side, she was determined to embrace every challenge, learn from every experience, and soar higher than ever before. The excitement in the air was palpable as Erica and her friends boarded the small training aircraft for their special lesson with Captain James. The hum of the engine combined with their laughter created an atmosphere of joy and anticipation. This was not just another flight. It was an opportunity to learn from one of the best. As the plane took off, Erica felt a rush of adrenaline. The familiar sensation of lifting off the ground filled her with exhilaration, and she remembered all the hard work and dedication that had led her here. Captain James sat in the front seat, his calm demeanor reassuring. "All right, team. Today we're going to focus on advanced navigation techniques and aerial maneuvers," Captain James announced, his voice steady and clear over the intercom. "I'll guide you through the processes and you'll each get a chance to take the controls." Erica's heart raced at the thought. She had been waiting for this moment and was determined to make the most of it. As they soared through the sky, Captain James demonstrated how to read complex maps, adjust for wind patterns, and calculate flight paths. The beauty of the landscape below, with sprawling fields and shimmering lakes, captivated her. "Now, Erica, it's your turn to take the controls," Captain James said, glancing back with a smile. "Remember everything we've practiced." With a deep breath, Erica reached for the yoke, her hands steady. As she guided the plane through the sky, she felt a sense of freedom she had never known. "This is incredible," she exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. "Good job. Now let's try a gentle turn to the left," Captain James instructed. Erica followed his guidance, and the plane glided smoothly, the world below shifting in a breathtaking panorama. As they continued to practice maneuvers, Captain James encouraged them to communicate with each other. "Flying is not just about the pilot, it's about teamwork. Always talk to your co-pilot and crew," he emphasized. Erica glanced at her friends who were equally engaged, each taking turns in the pilot's seat. They cheered each other on and the camaraderie filled the cabin with warmth. The experience was more than just learning to fly. It was about forging connections and supporting one another in their dreams. After several hours of flying, Captain James announced a surprise challenge. "We're going to have a little fun. I'll set up a simulated emergency landing scenario, and you'll need to work as a team to handle it." The campers exchanged nervous glances, but Erica felt a thrill of excitement. This was an opportunity to apply everything they had learned. Captain James turned off the engine, simulating an engine failure, and the plane glided silently through the air. "All right, team. What's our first step?" he called out, his tone serious yet encouraging. Erica took a deep breath. "We need to assess our altitude and find a suitable landing spot," she shouted, feeling the weight of responsibility. "Exactly. Jamal, start scanning for possible landing areas. Captain James directed. As Jamal pointed out potential spots, Erica communicated with Sarah, who was calculating their descent. Okay, we need to maintain our speed while descending, Sarah advised, her brow furrowed in concentration. Erica felt the adrenaline coursing through her veins as they worked together seamlessly. Their teamwork shone through, each camper contributing their strengths. Finally, as they located a clear field, Captain James re-engaged the engine, and the simulated emergency was resolved. Great job, everyone. That was impressive. Captain James praised, his pride evident. You all showed incredible teamwork and quick thinking. In real emergencies, staying calm and working together can save lives. As they flew back to the airfield, Erica couldn't shake the excitement of the challenge. She had learned not only about flying but also the importance of communication and collaboration. When they landed safely, the campers erupted in cheers, celebrating their success. Erica felt a sense of belonging wash over her. She was no longer just an orphaned girl with a dream. She was part of a supportive community that believed in her. That evening, as they gathered around a campfire, Erica reflected on the day's lessons. She shared her thoughts with her friends. I used to think flying was just about the technical skills, but it's so much more. It's about trust, teamwork, and facing challenges together. Sarah nodded in agreement. Absolutely. We really supported each other today, and that made all the difference. As the flames flickered, Erica felt grateful for the opportunity to fly and learn with such incredible people. She knew that each lesson brought her closer to her dream, and she was excited about what the future held. The sky was no longer just a place to soar. It was a canvas of possibilities, painted with dreams, friendships, and the promise of adventure. With each passing day at camp, Erica felt more empowered and ready to embrace her journey as a pilot. She was determined to make Mrs. Amanda proud and inspire others just as she had been inspired. As the days at summer camp flew by, Erica and her friends continued to grow in their skills and confidence. Each lesson brought them closer, and they shared a bond that felt unbreakable. Yet as the final week approached, Erica sensed a new challenge on the horizon. One evening after dinner, Captain James gathered the campers for an important announcement. All right, everyone, I have something exciting to share, he began, his eyes twinkling with enthusiasm. Next week we'll be hosting a flight competition. Each team will create a flight plan, complete a series of maneuvers, and present their results. The winning team will earn a scholarship for further aviation training. Erica's heart raced at the mention of the competition. It was the opportunity she had been waiting for, a chance to showcase everything she had learned. But as the initial excitement faded, a wave of anxiety washed over her. What if she let her team down? Captain James continued, I encourage you all to use this as a chance to apply everything you've learned. Remember, it's not just about winning, it's about learning and growing together. After the announcement, Erica and her friends gathered to discuss their strategy. We need to start planning right away, Sarah exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. Let's split up the tasks. We can research our flight routes and practice our maneuvers. Erica nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and pressure. And we should make sure to communicate effectively during the competition. Just like we practiced in the emergency landing, she added, determined to reinforce their teamwork. Over the next few days, the campers dedicated themselves to their preparations. They spent hours poring over maps, studying weather patterns, and rehearsing their flight maneuvers. Erica found herself immersed in the work, and despite her initial nerves, she began to feel more confident. However, as the competition day approached, Erica noticed that the campers who had previously been jealous of her were still harboring resentment. They whispered among themselves, casting glances in her direction whenever she and her team gathered to practice. One afternoon, while practicing a difficult maneuver, Erica overheard one of the jealous campers saying, "There's no way she can win. She's just an orphan. She doesn't have what it takes." The words stung. Erica felt a surge of frustration, but she reminded herself of Captain James's advice. Focus on your own journey. Taking a deep breath, she turned her attention back to her team. They needed her support more than ever. As they practiced, Erica encouraged her friends, reminding them of their strengths. "We've come so far together," she said, determination shining in her eyes. "Let's show everyone what we can do regardless of what they say." On the day of the competition, the atmosphere was electric. Campers buzzed with excitement as they gathered at the airfield. Captain James provided a brief overview of the rules and reminded everyone to stay focused and respectful. "Remember, this is a chance to learn and grow," he said firmly. "No matter the outcome, I want you all to support each other."